The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask the question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn a hole in my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up, I hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You found us. Yes. What's up, OMG? What's up, Anonymous American and Riddle? I know Mule Team from, Green Dragon Mule Team, yada yada. Subscribe to the channel as well. I don't know how many people we're gonna have watching. It could be a light show. This will be the test to see if this is even viable. Now, the appeal for YouTube has been put in. In fact, I might go ahead and read you the response. Why not? I don't have a lot of, I have a few news stories. I don't have a lot of news stories just because, I've been kind of busy today. There's, stuff going on. Patriot Rooster found us. Right on. Thank you very much for being on the contact list. So, what was I saying? Oh, YouTube's appeal for the channel. I'm not going to show you, but I'll read to you what I wrote. Because if I showed it to you, then you'd be seeing my private Discord messages, and I don't really want that. So, there we go. All right, so this is what I responded to YouTube. I've had this channel since 2006. I started out with a Rubik's Cube tutorial, moved on to covering CBS Big Brother where I achieved some success. I wouldn't say success, but that's what we put in there. It was like 8,000 subs. I mean, I guess at the time, I mean, I was taking off. Back then, though, there wasn't a lot of people on YouTube. I probably, if I had worked on it, maybe. Anyway, from there, I went on to gear reviews, vaping, and then in 2019, I started covering the news. Everything was fine for a while. I would get a strike here and there, but I would always try to be fair. I changed this. I always try to change my content to match TOS and never told anyone what they should believe. I always say do your own research in regard to mass COVID and the 2020 election. Anytime I got a strike for talking about COVID or the election, I would try to change up what I was saying so I wouldn't violate TOS. Unfortunately, the TOS is fluid. The rules keep changing regarding to covering mainstream media events. Seems the average content creator is not allowed to talk about news events. If you look at my channel history, strikes were very rare until 2019. If you'd be so kind to give me another this is where the begging comes in, right? This is supposed to be a good thing to do. So here comes the begging. Just warning. I mean, this was told. This is some of the research that we did to find out. You know, give them the play-by-play of what your channel has been. You know, and then apologize. Say you'll never do it again. So that's what I'm doing. So if you look at my channel history, strikes were very rare until 2019. If you would be so kind to give me another chance, I will not cover the news and I will change over to a cooking channel, which is true-ish. If the main channel does get reinstated, I don't know about cooking channel, maybe. I definitely won't be covering, doing the not behind the screens. I won't be doing the evening catch-up over on the main channel anymore. Most likely, I'll move it to Poison Stinger 2 or one of these channels because I kind of like some of the names that we came up with, so they're kind of cool.
You gonna go over any of them? The new names?
No, I'm not, Riddle. You have to be part of the Discord community, and I changed it over to Where's Stinger because Irish was going crazy over it should be Where's Stinger, not Where's Waldo. I'm like, fine. I changed it. So it's now Where's Stinger. And you can find me there or if you're on the email list. But you already know that because you're here. First time I've ever put a video or a live stream up on the channel. I'm already doing really well. Got 4 people watching. What's up, everybody? We got Daniel in the house. Nice. I don't see his comment.
He was over on D-Live.
He's on D-Live?
He left. I don't know.
All right. Let's see. We found you. Yeah. I'm fighting my 3-year-old to get to bed by herself. She's fighting it. Oh, man. I missed that age. Oh, by the way, Riddle, if you want, go ahead and post the next channel for tomorrow's chat in the Discord room. We can do that right away. And then you'll all be a little bit ahead of the game because I know I did post that a little bit late. I was supposed to do that last night, and I didn't post it until a few hours ago. So I do apologize for that. What's up, Gerald? And hello, Brenda. How are you? So, for anybody who just arrived, I have put in the appeal for YouTube, and I did go over and I read it. You can rewind the chat if you want, and all that. So, fingers crossed. I got an immediate email back. Oh man, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. It's an immediate denial. But it was just a confirmation email, so I was pretty happy about that. All right. Other than that, personally, I'm just hanging wires today. After this, we'll probably go to the store. We got to get a couple things, and I'll be hanging wires for a few more hours, and then probably relax for the rest of the night. How about y'all? Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday night. Let me just check. It is Tuesday night. I got to remember, this weekend, I believe, is Daylight Savings Time. So, some other drama went on today. So, did the morning muster. Everything was fine, I guess. You know, it is the morning muster. It was no great rant from Irish, but it was pretty good. I have CCTV and an intercom system in the house, so I can come over the intercom and say, "Sweetheart, stop playing, go to bed." Right on. Is that connected to the internet? Because like I was, and I'm not trying to tell you what you should do. Obviously, I have no idea. I'm trying to learn this shit myself. But like with home security cameras, anyway. I was told not to put cameras on the inside of the house. If you do, just have it pointing at like the front door, but you don't want, especially if it has internet access, you don't want people to be able to look in. And I know that's been a thing before with like baby monitors and things like that. So hopefully, I'm sure you are, but hopefully you're taking all the precautions on that. LOL, kids have got to love that. I bet they do. Trash night. Ooh. Friday night's trash night here. In fact, this weekend is bulk pickup, Riddle.
Is it?
Yes.
Who told you that?
Joyce.
Oh.
Yes. I'm so glad we're poor and my parents were scared of technology. That's good, Anonymous. I'm glad you got that covered. I'm sure you did. So, shortly after, I don't know. I think Irish brought this up on the after chat that we do. So, if you didn't know, we do the morning muster and we don't just hang up on each other. We sit around, we talk for a little bit. And all of a sudden, it came to my attention from Irish. He'd probably kill me for putting his name out there. I should have just said some little birdie told me. Anyway, he told me that somebody had been talking shit about me. I'm not one to start shit. If you've been a fan of this channel for any length of time, I don't go out looking for shit. I don't like the drama. That's why I actually stopped doing the Big Brother show. It wasn't because of YouTube drama. It was just because of the drama on the television show. I just decided, you know what? I don't like it anymore. So I tried to cut all the drama out of my life. I cut that show off. There was other reasons. It wasn't just that. But, I mean, I used to watch Big Brother a lot. Then I did the show. And then when I stopped doing the show, I stopped watching the show as well. I stopped watching it altogether. I haven't watched an episode of Big Brother since the last time I did an episode of the behind the screens. Right? So I'm not a fan of drama. Now, I'm not going to go off on anybody, really. I'm going to cover it because, damn it, it's newsworthy to me. And let's get to it.
Yeah, there you go, Irish. I'm a keyboard warrior. Send me your money now. Well, not to be a dick, Irish, but that dude that you hang out with in the mornings ain't nothing but a fucking keyboard warrior. RSV, I don't know what that is. Intro virus. That means they're sick.
It goes on. It's funny, too, because I commented on this video.
But yeah, I just,
And this comment is
I get
gone.
tired of all that shit. I get tired of the con game you see being ran over and over again. I don't know. Whatever. Not going to get on all that.
So he's also talking a little bit about fear porn people or people who are out to make $1, on YouTube. You all know. We talk about it on the Morning Muster. There's preppers out there and other people on YouTube that they're not trying to help you as much as they're trying to help themselves, right?
Let's be positive. Let's get out there and start trying to help folks if we can. Yeah. Get out there and build some hearts and minds. There you go. Yeah. If your neighbor's asking questions, say something. Respiratory, I can't say that. Virus and human activity. A virus. We should lock down the whole country. God damn it.
He does that a lot.
Keyboard. There you go. I can't be a keyboard warrior.
Wait.
Cheetos
it's better.
dust is hard
you
to
should
remove.
Know, Anonymous, you were in on this chat. I don't know if
Yeah,
you were
what
on
Taylor
this part.
I have Halloween candy. One of the best memes or whatever is the van,
I'm gonna give
the
you the
Chomo
backstory
van
here in a minute.
with "I got ammo" written on the side of it.
Actually, let me give you the backstory right now. So the backstory is Corsair Trainer would come to the Morning Muster a lot. This is about a year and almost a half ago or more. Because I've been doing the evening catch-up for about a year and a half, and I started doing it because Irish had kind of fell off with the Morning Muster a little bit. It wasn't completely over at that point, or, on break or whatever you want to call it, but, it was less and less. So I wanted to do the evening catch up because I enjoyed being on camera again. It'd been a while. I had taken a break from YouTube again. And so I was like, you know what? Let's keep the trainer rolling, right? Anyway, on these chats, we're talking about police once in a while. I had no idea. I didn't know who Corsair Trainer was. No idea. He's just some guy, just some random guy, to me, in the chat, talking. Okay, cool. Conversating with him, no problem. I had gone on on a rant here and there about police and what my opinion on police was. Still kind of is. I've evolved a little bit. See, I like to have these discussions. A lot of people, they don't even want to have a discussion anymore because they feel like you're not going to change anybody's mind and it's just going to be wasted energy. For me, that is not the case. I like changing my mind. I do try to keep an open mind at all times. And I believe I'd probably express that. Like, let me know. If you know of a good cop that is still a cop, let me know. And I've said that many a times. But I went off on a few rants on Irish's channel talking about how the only good cop is an ex-cop because only an ex-cop would rat out his buddies. Or let me rephrase it. Only a cop, a current police officer, that calls out some illegality shit that his co-cops are doing, right? So one of his buddies is doing something either against the law or against their code of conduct, right? You have two choices as the person not doing those things, but you're aware of it, right? If you're aware of a fellow officer doing some shit and you don't say anything about it and you don't call it out, then you're just as bad, in my opinion, as the cop that's actually doing it. I believe it was probably George Floyd that we were talking about or something to that effect, right? The other cops around that guy at the time, this was before all the information came out, at the time, every cop is just as guilty as the cop that kneeled on his neck, right? Or on his chest. Because they didn't do shit. Now, the cop that does do shit, the cop that goes over there and pulls the other cop off and says, fuck you, and then writes up a report, guess what happens to him? He gets let go or transferred. Hence, making my observation that the only good cop is a cop that is no longer a cop because he lost his job. Not that he was dead or not that I want any cops to die. I never fucking said I wanted cops to die. I said ex-cop, not ex-person, right? So that's it. Now, I didn't hear anything from him after that. I don't know how many of those rants that he'd seen. I'd probably done it a couple times on Irish's channel. No problem. You know, it is what it is, right? He just stopped coming. I was like, okay, I didn't really even notice, to be honest. And then his name comes up from Irish once, and he's talking about this video. I'm like, man, I haven't seen that guy in the chat for a while. So I go over there, and he's talking on one of his live chats that he does, you guys know, about police officers. I do not know he's mad at me at this point. I then type, I have a strong opinion about police officers. I would, since you take the other side and I'm more of a only good cop as an ex-cop thing, it would be great if we could have a live chat and have a debate. He responds with, I've heard enough of your opinions on YouTube for one lifetime. At that point, I realized that he was upset and never talked to him again. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He continues at some point here.
Oh, yeah, Mr. D. You're talking about standards being lowered. Yeah. Hey, backwoods, go fuck yourself. Let's be positive. Backwoods, go fuck yourself. Hey, what day is the 11th fall on? Uh-oh.
I have my animals.
We might have to do a...
to see when I'm not home so I can talk
to the person that sent me that text message, no. That person knows better.
Yeah, there's 16.
Hold on, we got to see what day.
Damn.
What day is the 11th?
eight.
Oh, it's a
I
Thursday.
have 8 cameras,
We
and
might
it's
have to
too many
do,
wires. I've only
We might have to
hung
do
up
a live
6.
that day, just so we could gather up
I
the
should have
special
figured out the
children
timestamp
amongst
for
the
the second
misfits.
part.
Or maybe we'll do it that Monday. Oh, it's not. Anna, you're high. November 11th is Thursday. Like you say. Yeah. That way we can properly point out the Marine Corps birthday to all you non-rate fucks.
Always did find it funny the Marine birthday is such a big deal.
Rob Painless, good morning, sir. I was just talking about
I'd
you
never
earlier
heard
in
of
that
that until
conversation
Irish.
exchange we had in the comments.
Okay, so here it's coming. Irish says,
no, Billy Bird, that wasn't.
Irish just comments because he's now responding to the that guy that you have on in the morning, keyboard warrior. I forget exactly the words he used, but basically that.
About you.
He's
That
saying
was
he's
somebody
learning, damn it.
wanting me
I
to
don't know.
clarify
I kind of take offense to that, Irish. I think I'm more than learning. I'm implementing in a lot of ways.
who it was that I was talking about earlier. Well, Irish, I stopped by in the morning so I can give you a little thumbs up and I can give you some view time, but I don't say anything because that dude's a fucking punk. I don't know how else to say that to you, dude. He's a punk. I just, that's my aloha, by the way. He's just a fucking punk. And the game he tried to run on me really pissed me off.
I have no idea what kind of game I try to run on him. Unless he thought that I was wanting to have a conversation on a live stream to promote myself, possibly. Absolutely not. That was not the intention on that.
Because if I showed up at his fucking house, he would change his fucking attitude. So, all right, Mr. D, have a good one.
Okay, so now I have 2 of these tabs open. And the reason I have 2 open is because one has my comment and the other does not. So he read it. He deleted it. Probably blocked that channel. But guess what? I got plenty. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not into the drama. But at the same time, it is what it is. You're more than welcome to show up at my house. How would you like me to send you the address? You got all but hurt that I didn't like cops. Took it personally, then left like a bitch. Never said a bad word about you, not once. I don't talk about Corsair. I have nothing bad to say about him other than he put my name in his mouth. Not at the time and not now. Fuck, I didn't even know you were mad at me until I made a comment on one of your videos and you told me you'd heard enough of my opinion. I guess you only want to hear opinions that you like. All safe and warm inside of your little echo chamber, aren't you? Instead of having a disagreement and having a discussion why I'd be wrong to think only ex-cops is good cops, you just took your ball and went home. And I'm the keyboard warrior? Shit, okay, I'm fine with that. I don't need to be friends with everyone, but you're going to then have my name come out of your mouth. I should have rewritten that. Please kindly get my address and come visit or keep my name out of your content. And that's how it is. So, I have nothing bad to say about Corsair Trainer, but the disrespect that he just showed on that live stream. So you're more than welcome, Corsair Trainer. If you'd like my address, you can hit me up on Discord. You can email RiddleGirlStinger. Is it RiddleGirlStinger?
Yep.
At Gmail?
Yep.
RiddleGirlStinger@gmail. Actually, I think we have a thing in the chat, don't we? If we do email, do the email thing,
I
right?
don't know if it's going to work on this channel.
No, it's restream. It will. It should. All right. But you're more than welcome. Let's set it up. Let's set up a time. We can live stream it even. How's about that? Okay. Where did I leave off? Bernard, kids, gotta love that. I'm so glad we report. I only have my animals areas able to be seen when I'm not at home, so I can talk to my animals and monitor them when I'm not at home. The other 16 cameras, you like to talk to your animals when you're not at home? That's kind of weird, dude. The other 16 cameras are offline. Nobody can see them in my home via online. That's cool. And Corsair said, yeah, I kind of went over that. If you still have any questions, I'll read them. Yeah, get out there and help folks build hearts and minds with your hate. Oh yeah, he did. He could. Yeah, it is kind of funny. You know, you preaching. The whole chat was about like other people, YouTubers, you know, fear porn, whatever. We all have opinions about other people. Why we give a shit? Irish does this and it pisses me off. Dude, why do you give a fuck whatever insert name prepper, Canadian prepper, right? I just learned about him last month, right? First time I'd ever heard of Canadian prepper. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Why? Because I don't care. But, I mean, let's say I have a problem with it. I don't. Well, I wouldn't have a problem with it because he's doing him. Yes, there are those people out there. Anytime there is a fool with money, it is soon to be parted, all right? They're soon to be parted. Obviously, in every genre, there are people out there either e-bagging or trying to sell you some shit on YouTube. Why do I care? Why? Why do you spend so much energy on it? Irish, why do you spend so much energy on something that doesn't affect you? I have another friend in the gaming community named Talia Quinn. It's not her real name, it's her username, right? Talia Quinn. She's a streamer. And she always gets butthurt because there are these girls on stream on Twitch that go in their bathing suit and jump in a little kiddie pool and splash around and write people's names on their arms and get tons and tons of money. And all she does is talk about that. Stay in your own fucking lane. Focus on you and not them. I don't care what Corsair has to say about anything. I tried to have that conversation, and he didn't want to have it. Fine. No big deal. But apparently, a year and a half later, and it's gotten even worse. All right. Oh, yeah. I was there, but AFK. I'm not calling you out. I just didn't know if you were there at that time, because I didn't see you commenting at that time, but it took me a minute. I mean, it was a 2-hour chat. And Irish didn't have a timestamp. I was actually looking for his comment, like going like 15 minutes at a time, watching a few minutes, and then skipping ahead, seeing if Irish's chat was there, because I knew it was going to be about then. Yeah, you can't take anything bad talk. Why? What? Cops are great? And it has been told to me, and I don't know if it's true or not, because I haven't talked to Corsair. It has been told to me that obviously he's a police officer, and that he was let go. This is rumor. I don't know if it's true. Rumor that he was let go or got in trouble, probably just got in trouble, not let go, for reporting on a fellow officer doing something wrong. Why would you have a problem with me then? I just called you a good cop. Just called you a good cop. I jumped on it if I heard it. Yeah, he has his reasons, but he loses it at times over any anti-cop talk. It's known to you. It's known to you. It wasn't known to me at the time. He just never said anything. Or if he did, I didn't see it. There are sometimes I miss a chat here and there, but Irish didn't make me aware of it. Nobody made me aware of it. He's all in on support them or you're part of the problem. Wow. Yeah, no. The police are in my opinion, the police are the first one to come and infringe on your rights. Like if some anti-freedom shit goes through, no more Second Amendment. Guess who's coming to get your guns? You think the federal government's coming? Do you think the CIA's coming? The FBI? Maybe the National Guard, but most likely police officers. I went round and round with him on that point. It's his trigger. He has his reasons, but he loses it. Yeah. He believes if you push the anti-police narrative, then he blacklists you. And well, that's fine. As I said, I don't have to be friends with him. Just don't put my name in your mouth. It is what it is. It is. It's sad. I agree. Brenda just said it's snowing at her sister's place in MT, Montana, Chase, Maine. It's about 90 miles north of here. Oh, okay. Burr, I love him, Corsair, as a Marine man and a patriot. As a cop, he is all in on support or you're the enemy. He thinks that if you don't support law enforcement, then you need to get bent. Yeah. As you're helping the Marxist gain ground against the government. Again, it is what it is. And even back then, I said I'm not against law enforcement, like constitutional law enforcement, sheriff's offices. At least that's constitutional. And if I don't like the sheriff, I can vote for somebody else. The police, in my opinion, are nothing more than a privatized gang that is given the legal authority to enforce law that I didn't vote for, you most likely didn't vote for, but some politician that you did vote for wanted. And it's a and I've said this many a time, it's a glorified protection racket. Every time I get, there was one time in Fond du Lac when I lived in Wisconsin. I ran as a cab driver trying to pick up as many drunks from the bar at closing, because it was at closing, trying to pick up as many people from the bar at closing for, money, because I get paid per trip, plus they're great tippers, all right? And I also don't want them driving. I'm working my ass off. There's a flashing yellow light. No, flashing red, sorry. It was a flashing red light. I can see down each side of the street way before I get there and see nobody coming in either direction. I decide to run through it, and I get pulled over. And get this, I have a person in the back of my cab who is from the bar. He's intoxicated, made the right choice of getting a cab to go home. And the cop's asking me if I've been drinking. I was like, no, I'm just trying to get as many people as possible out of the bar before close so that they don't try to drive home and, make decent money doing it. I got a ticket for that. It was 2:30 in the morning. Nobody there. Did I do something that is illegal? Sure. I broke a law that has been written into the code. Should I have done it? Probably not. But in reality, did I endanger anybody by doing that? No, I did not. Now, I have to pay, I think, $350 with nobody being the victim. And I'm not about victimless shit. Like, I've been preaching that too for a long time. Like, the only law you need in America is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Right? You don't want somebody crashing into you at an intersection? Stop. I don't know. I'm going off a topic a little bit. Anyway, email here. He won't, as I said, if he views you as anti-cop, then he's done with you. Yeah, I don't care. No, but I hope he, hit me up, dude. I got my address. I'll give it to you. No problem. Other than that, keep my name out of your mouth. Or I'll find your address. No, I won't. I'm not about to do that. Agreed. Spend energy on the things that affect you. If he's done, then he can also be done talking shit. Exactly. I personally have only 2 pleasant experiences with cops. I do not like cops in general. I'm sure they are good cops out there, but they seem to be rare. Riddle, tell him to read all the comments and catch up. I'm sorry, Anonymous. The real reason we call it the even catch up is it takes time to get caught up in the chat. It does. That made me laugh. They might start with the police, but they won't last long. As soon as the word gets out and the police are doing it, the people will have open season. Yeah, maybe. I owned a cab company, drove taxi for 19 years. Wow. It was one of my favorite jobs, to be honest. My view to force any law or behavior of peaceful, nonviolent man isn't harming anyone via force or threat. It's wrong. Mind your own business. If it's not hurting anyone. Yeah, exactly. If I did crash into somebody, let's say I ran that light and I crashed into somebody, then yes, I would be liable. Absolutely liable. Just like if I broke into somebody's house, I would expect the police to come and get me because I did something wrong. You shouldn't steal from somebody because golden rule says you wouldn't want anybody to do that to you. You shouldn't want to kill anybody because golden rule says you probably wouldn't want that person to kill you. Simple shit. All right, I'm caught up on chat. We have 10 people watching. Holy shit. It's not shadow banned yet. That's it right there. It's not shadow banned. All right, so that's my own drama. By all means, if you want to meet up, let's meet up. We can take care of business. I have no problem with it. You don't seem to understand. He probably don't even know. I'm going out either way. The sooner, the better, and the quicker, the better. I have nothing to lose, so let's do it. All right. Apparently, Brian Stelter ranted about a civil war if Trump runs, not wins, runs in 2024. In an unhinged diatribe on Sunday, CNN host Brian Stelter outlined an elaborate conspiracy theory about former President Trump's plan to win the presidency in 2024 with help from fake news. You gotta love him talking about fake news, violence, and election manipulation. Stelter projected the left's support for riots and stuff with the election onto Trump and his supporters. He asserted that Trump's complete control of the GOP and his entire political existence depends on his claim that President Biden's campaign, along with the corporate media, big tech companies, and nonprofit organizations and state and local election clerks, organized the largest election theft in American history. Stelter called Trump's claims about election misdoings the big lie, rehashing the ambiguous Democrat talking points borrowed from Adolf Hitler. He then said he believed that Trump's goal was revenge and reclaiming what he says was stolen. Personally, I think he likes being president because he likes being important. Trump has a two-step plan, according to Stelter. The first would be for Republicans to win the House of Representatives in the 2022 midterm election, as many expect them to do, given Democrats' growing list of policy failures. The duly elected majority would then put the sedition caucus in charge of the Electoral College process. Wow, that's some deep conspiracy theory stuff. Stelter claimed and ensured that insurrectionists will have the upper hand next time. Second, Trump would announce his presidential campaign. Then things would get really nasty in Stelter's vision. His verbal attack against the media are so pervasive now, the physical violence erupts more often. Fear is the point, Stelter claimed. Silence through force. I don't know how many times I've seen a Trump rally erupt in violence, but it's been very rare. I can't recall the last time I saw a Trump rally or any Trump supporters starting any shit. Right-wing news websites and commentators will begin to rile up Trump supporters in case of another misdoing on an election. These sites don't gather news. They spin the news in Trump's favor. I'm sure they do. Although seeking revenge, Trump holds rallies under the banner of Save America. And to save America, red states continue to place new restrictions on voting rights. Yes, we don't like mail-in voting. I don't like getting a ballot in the mail I did not request. I like to vote in person. Eventually, Stelter's nightmare scenario turns into an explicit civil war. Neighbors turn on neighbors, and local elections turn into existential battles. Well, you have both sides saying the other side cheated. There's Stacey Abrams is saying that she got cheated out of it. I think it's Stacey Abrams. Most likely. Let's see. Only law we need is the 10 Commandments. Yeah. Well, to be honest, OMG, Jesus in the New Testament said, this is paraphrasing. The greatest commandment of all is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It basically is it. The only part that's not in there is love God with all your heart and mind. Don't cheat on your wife. Don't kill. Don't steal. Well, actually, don't steal is not technically in there. Don't covet. Yeah. I mean, you can covet in private in your own head, I suppose. But it's a pretty good rule. A lot of libs would die. What do you think of the channel name, y'all? Not bad. Corsair's watching. I don't know if he is or not. I don't think he watches my content, and he'd have to find the channel. And it's not like I'm hiding, but most likely you can. I'll tell you what, if you want, because I'm probably, well, this channel's not probably blocked. But if you want, I have no problem with anybody saying, hey, check him out. The comment is there. Right? You can tell whoever you want about this channel. In fact, I encourage you to share this channel because we're going to do the YouTube thing as long as we can. All right? So share it. Share it with Corsair. I don't mind. Because this is something he needs to hear. As a friend of his, I wish he'd understand we all live in different lives and dealt with different kinds of people, different cops. Yet no man should be condemned for their personal beliefs. And I was willing to have, as I said, I try to have an open mind. I actually really try to do that. I think that if you're closed-minded to changing your mind on stuff, that's no place to be. I learn new things every day. Like I'll read an article and find out, like, I never even knew that was a thing. Just like Canadian Prepper. Never knew he was a thing. And now I know he's a thing. Have I checked him out? No. But it's still there, right? I like to learn new things, and that's why I try to keep an open mind. It is what it is. Some smacks your hand 50 times, you stop putting your hand out. Yeah. Can you imagine? Now, here's the thing. Like, if we had had that debate on a stream, his or mine, I don't give a fuck. What does he think I would do? Just go on my tirade and not let him talk, or what? Or does he not want to have the conversation? Can he not defend it? Because in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, because my opinion is there's only good cops and ex-cop. In my opinion, I don't see how you fight. You prove that I'm wrong. It's a change my mind thing, right? Poison Stinger, change my mind. Cops are all bad except for ex-cops. Change my mind. Seriously, try it. I think it's a pretty good thing. Now, if you show me a police officer, and I'm not talking sheriff, because sheriff, at least they're constitutional. If you show me, and I've seen, I think Irish talked about one of them. It's the small towns. Small town police are the only ones, I believe, that can be a good cop and still be employed. And even then, it's spotty, because small towns a lot of the times have corruption too. In fact, their corruption sometimes is even worse than big cities. All right. Kid in Bangor Halloween night went as a fake news reporter. His shirt had FNN on it, and along with the words fake news network. And then on the back it said, "Let's go, Brandon. I voted today." You voted today, OMG? Was there a special election? I know there was an election coming up. There's a story anyway. Stinger, don't die. I need to hug you one day. Aw. As I said, I've seen how people with pulmonary hypertension go out. It's a very slow, painful, can't breathe process. So I have absolutely no problem checking out earlier and quicker and less on my death. Fuck the deathbed. I ain't going out like that. Right? So, yeah. When I was in Indiana for sure. Too bad. Okay, back on to what's going on here. Kevin McCarthy, even the Democrat Party, pans Joe Biden. I don't know what pan means in this context. Kevin McCarthy of California said Tuesday on Fox News that even the Democratic Party is running against this president now. They think he is weak on leadership. They watched his policies have failed, McCarthy said. They are not standing with him, so it's interesting to me why would this Democratic Congress actually vote for this bill that would only create more inflation, harm our economy going forward, and actually the only people it's going to help is China. Wow, McCarthy said that? 44% of the left-wing voters want someone else to be the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. Yeah, but you're going to get Kamala. if it's not Biden, even if it is Biden and Trump decides to run, I think Trump probably would do all right. But if it's against Kamala, anybody against her will probably win. That's 8% more than 36% who want Biden at the top of the ticket. 20% of the respondents said they are unsure about who the Democrats should run in 2024. McCarthy said, how about Bernie Sanders? How about you let that motherfucker get an honest shake at it? Just once. McCarthy says he feels increasing skepticism that the Democratic Party can pass Biden's signature Build Back Better Act, which would spend at least $3.5 trillion to appease climate alarmists and boost welfare spending. Joe Manchin of Virginia has said that he believes that the bill would cost much more than advertised. When I look at where this president's continuing to move, I don't know if they can put these votes together because I'm seeing more Democrats announce retirement, McCarthy said. You've got a committee chair announcing 15% of Democrats on appropriation have announced retirement. Holy crap. They don't want to sit around either because they see the future's not bright based upon the policies they're pushing. An NPR poll reflects the nation's concern that the Democratic Party is not leading America in the right direction. 41% of independents said Democrats pose a bigger threat to democracy than Republicans. That's not a majority. 41% is of independents. So I'm surprised they're using this as a, hey, it's okay, you know, the independents don't like him either. No, more of them do. 41% of independents say Democrats pose a bigger threat to democracy than Republicans. And I would imagine it's, 59 the other way? 37% said the Republicans are a bigger threat. Okay, 37. I guess there was some unsures. That's what I get for trying to do math. 450,000 reparations per illegal immigrant. Can you imagine that? They already get like unemployment and shit. Let's see. Riddle, come to Ohio. I show you a dozen. Well, sure. You know, I just got back from my last trip to over there. VA and NJ governor and delegate. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're from Virginia. Dude, it's been a minute. I remember talking about this with you back when the whole protest was going on in Virginia. I think that you found my channel shortly after that. Like I said, I'm sure. Okay, referendum questions to vote here today. Are they dead or retired? You're living in the wrong area, apparently. I lived in many places. Texas, Wisconsin, Colorado, Arizona. Still no good ones. What? For states? For what?
For good cops.
Oh, for good. Yeah, as I said, Wisconsin was actually probably the worst. Boy, they really have a power trip. And I was there when Stephen Avery got let out for, you know, because the DNA came back and exonerated him, you know, because some police officers put it upon themselves to create evidence. You know what I mean? So he gets out. Great. And then he goes back in. I was like, this was before I was super into what's going on. This was before I was red-pilled or however you want to call it, right? At that time, I would have still considered myself an independent. I didn't even own a firearm at the time, right? And at that time, I was like, that smells like bullshit. Because he just won a shit ton of money. He's out of jail. The last thing he's going to want to do, and this is at the time, the last thing I thought anybody like that would want to do is kill somebody and risk going to jail. For what? For absolutely what? But they sent him back to jail. And I don't know if you guys saw the making of a murderer or whatever that is, but I'm telling you, I think the cops there are crook. I have had a lot of dealings with Wisconsin police. I think the nicest police that I've ever met are in Texas. In a small town. Youngkin's crowd dwarfs McCaulfrey's on eve of election. The gubernatorial race in Virginia. Who did you vote for, OMG? Probably won't tell me. For a real small town lady, volunteer firefighter, and she works in jail and takes shit 24/7, but she is as stubborn as you. Nice. What's up, Mule? You missed it, bro. You absolutely are late and miss the drama. Oh my goodness. You need to rewind. No. It's not per immigrant. False news. Okay. Hey, RG, how many more channels do I need to sub? Riddle says that she's got the new next channel out and ready to go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to just stick with this one until it gets a warning and then move on to the next? Yeah, we could probably do that. It'd be probably easier for everybody. Let's just stick with this. And the next one is already in the Discord. I think Riddle's already emailed it out.
I haven't emailed it.
Okay,
out
she
yet.
hasn't emailed it out. She will email it out. And then we will stay here until this one gets in trouble, and then we'll move. GOP candidate Glenn Youngkin crowds were large and rollicking, with many of the trappings of a MAGA rally. A similar dad rocked playlist, hats and flags and T-shirts paying homage to former President Trump, but to the great disappointment of Democrats, not Trump himself. Okay. Oh, Democrats or Trump didn't go to Virginia. Gotcha. While Democrat Joe Biden won Virginia in the 2020 election, tilt by 10%, the latest poll by Real Clear Politics shows Youngkin and Democrat Terry McAuliffe in a statistical dead heat, which, along with the crowd size, could portend trouble for Democrats. Youngkin's events in the final days of the campaign have been energetic, often sizable affairs, with Republicans increasingly enthusiastic that they have a shot to win their first statewide race in Virginia in more than a decade. As Politico noted, McAulifre's closing argument is almost entirely negative, hoping that Donald Trump will inject himself into the campaign and rally Democrats. Guess how Glenn Youngkin is finishing his campaign? McAulifre asked the crowd. He is doing an event with Trump here in Virginia. Politico called the assertion by McAulifre a lie because Trump wasn't there. Trump wasn't in Virginia, and he never campaigned with Youngkin, Politico reported, though he did make the case for the GOP candidate during a phone call. Fox News said that Saturday's event with Republican Youngkin drew 200 enthusiastic voters in Northern Virginia, a Democratic stronghold, while a Democrat event featuring former Governor Tim Kaine in Norfolk drew around 40 people. 40 people? You had an event that had 40 people? Oh my goodness. Like, I feel bad. I have 12 watching right now. I mean, maybe I should run. Youngkin urged his voters not to be complacent and to get to the polls to vote and say polls don't win elections, according to Fox. This is about the values of the Virginians hold dearly, Youngkin told reporters. It's about Virginia standing up for our new way forward. Sounds good to you? The drama llama showed up? Yeah. I need to get that as a, well, it was earlier today that I found out about the drama, and then I covered my own personal drama at the beginning of the chat. Is that drama llama that Johnny B uses, is that something that he came up with, or is that a meme that's been around for a while?
It's a meme.
Is it? All right. I will definitely implement a drama llama thing, like a button that I can push. Local government passes anti-constitutional law. Stop paying them. Well, the founding father says that any law that violates the Constitution is not a law, technically. You can go ahead and not follow it. So, to all my police officers out there, I would like to say that, when it comes to something that is constitutional, I will continue to do what I'm doing since I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm just enjoying being a free man in what's supposed to be a free country. I ain't asking permission because free men don't ask for permission. Government wasting trillions. Yeah, it's a meme. Okay. When Coffee wins, he cheated. Everyone say government is bad but pays their taxes. A lot of people even people on our side, even people on the right will get on you if you don't like paying taxes or if you try to get out of taxes. And I think a lot of that is probably because they have to pay taxes and they secretly don't want to, but since they're not going to go against the system because, I'm a law follower, then, they just get on anybody else who's not doing that because they're not following the law. Or maybe they just really, really like, following every single law, being a law-abiding citizen in a free country. I'm a constitutional following citizen. I'll follow the Constitution and the laws that I believe God would ordain, right? I ain't going to go out killing nobody, but I'll defend myself if trouble comes to my house, right? Stuff like that. Okay. Everyone's saying government is bad. Okay, read that. Period. Guess what? There is no law to pay taxes. Ooh, that's a good one, Anonymous. I don't know enough about that to comment, to be honest. I know the basics, but I haven't really looked into it. I do know that there are some people out there that apparently the IRS are leaving alone. I guess they don't talk about it because probably if they did, then they'd have a lot more problems on their hands. But yeah, I've never been a fan of taxes of any kind. I think that it's not just one tax, right? Let's say it was just payroll tax. Every dollar you get paid, you pay 20%. I still don't like that. That's theft. But you got so many rules and regulations. You got sales tax, you got state tax, you got federal tax, you got all these things. You get taxed so many times. I don't even know how much of your dollar you have left that you earned after you earned it. It's crazy. F the shit. Yeah. Did Desperate Dims attempt another false flag hoax at Youngkin's final rally? I'm guessing this is about Trump. I didn't read these before, so. Yeah. Oh, they're trying to make him a white supremacist? Desperate attempt to portray Republican candidate Glenn Youngkin as a white supremacist, Becker News reported. Focusing on kitchen table issues such as public school indoctrination, Youngkin has gained serious momentum in the final weeks of the campaign, evening the odds with Democratic rival Terry McAuliffe. Meanwhile, McAuliffe's tone-deaf campaign has carped on a vain effort to link his GOP gubernatorial opponent with former President Trump and other so-called extremists of the party. Youngkin has refused to take the bait, instead focusing on a broad coalition of swing voters in the Old Dominion in a long-time political bellwether that somehow turned deep blue during McAuliffe's previous reign as governor. So this is governor. Nonetheless, Democrats have doubled down on promoting their false narrative as part of the last-ditch effort to distract from their own leadership failures and lack of vision. At Youngkin's final rally before the election, several major media outlets, including MSNBC's Gary Grumbach, homed in on a person donning a Confederate flag patch. This person right here. How dare they? Racist. A Salon journalist also called attention to the man soon after pointing to the freshly sewn patch on the back of a denim jacket. But that immediately raised suspicions from Youngkin supporters and others who said it had all the trappings of a fake news hoax. Plant, right? Grumbach, in particular, has a long history of partaking in such misrepresentations. In October, he went out of his way to interview a woman from Michigan at a Trump rally in Des Moines who claimed that civil war is coming. I think both sides see it. You even have Brian Stelter talking about it. So, yeah. Just last week, activists pulled a similar stunt, lining up fake Youngkin supporters bearing tiki torches, a reference to the deadly 2017 clash between right-wing and left-wing extremists that left one person dead in Charlottesville. Alex Sears, a reporter for the Daily Caller and Washington Examiner, made a connection exposing the Democrats in a Twitter thread. Democrats political operative Lauren Windsor eventually took credit for arranging things, suggesting that she had coordinated with the Lincoln Project. Wow. So the Lincoln Project got in on that to propaganda. 100% propaganda. However, the Democrats' phony narrative on Charlottesville, in particular their having taken out of context remarks on it, has been repeatedly debunked. A documentary apparently that Tucker Carlson is helping to shed light on the fact that leftist operatives and government agents may have been behind the false flag efforts to incite a riot during Trump's January 6th event. Democrats attempted to impeach Trump and have arrested more than 600 people after some of those in attendance vandalized and may have illegally trespassed on the U.S. Capitol. Well, I do know that there's one guy that still hasn't been busted, and he was all over it, wasn't he? I already forgot what his name was. Elected officials, including President Biden, have claimed it was the greatest attack on the country since the Civil War. A lot of Civil War stuff coming up. A lot of Civil War stuff coming up. Everybody's talking about it. It's the new hottest thing. Ignoring the likes of Pearl Harbor and 9/11. One person's pro-Trump, we know about Ashley Babbitt being killed, and several other Trump supporters died of natural causes during and after the chaos. Really, during? I didn't hear about that. All right. Coffee Wednesday cheated. I pay sales tax. That's it. And you know what? I think that is probably the fairest tax you can charge people. Because if you have a payroll tax, you're getting taxed for just earning a living. What if I want to save all that money? Or most of it, right? I don't plan on spending it anytime soon. And the way you're inflating the dollar, it's not going to be worth near as much by the time I am ready to spend it as it is when I first got it. However, a sales tax, if you're rich, you're going to pay more in tax because you're paying more for your stuff. So let's talk about that for a minute. Could we get behind something like that? Just sales tax. Screw everything else. All the other taxes go out the window. We jack sales tax up to 28%. 28. I know it seems like a lot, but I think we're going to actually save money if we do this. 28, maybe 30. 28 to 30%, right? You get taxed once for your purchase, for whatever it is. We'll even exclude food so you can eat without having to worry about paying your taxes on that, right? That's fair. If you buy a yacht, I don't even know how much they go for, but if you buy one for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, then you pay a pretty good chunk of tax on that. I don't know. It's a simple idea, but I think it would work. That message imploded due to keeping ABC agents off my back. The message imploded. Okay. Squad member Cori Bush accuses fellow Democrat Joe Manchin of racism. You gotta love the Christmas sweater. Representative Cori Bush of Missouri called Senator Joe Manchin of Virginia a racist for blocking President Biden's $1.75 trillion spending bill over his concerns about how it might be paid for and the impact it'll have on inflation. Wow. So you're saying he has a problem with it for financial issues, and that makes him a racist? Cori Bush is a racist. He's also... Okay. She represents hatred. She is the poster child of everything wrong with America. Wow. Joe Manchin's opposition to the Build Back Better Act is anti-black, anti-child, anti-woman, and anti-immigrant. Bush said in a recent letter attacking Manchin, according to Breitbart, when we talk about transformative change, we are talking about a bill that will benefit black, brown, and indigenous communities. We can't say Indians anymore. On a variety of issues, from environment to policing, the radical race-baiting squad member has accused the U.S. of being a racist country. Last week, Bush accused oil companies of promoting fossil fuels, despite knowing that promoting them means promoting environmental racism and violence on black and brown communities. She claimed that fossil fuels were another example of systematic racism. The oil is racist. This is a striking example of white supremacy, she added, scolding oil executives. Your profit-driven choices threaten my life, the lives of my family, my neighbors, and our communities every single day. Well, when you fill up with gas, and around me it's going for about $3.60 a gallon, and then you look at how much gas was going for a year ago today, and I believe mine has gone up $2 per gallon in less than a year. Fuck you, Biden. Let's go, Brandon. Manchin has repeatedly warned that unless he better understands the real price tag of the Biden bill, he will be content to return to West Virginia without voting on the bill, even offering to leave the Democratic Party. More of the real details outlined in the basic framework are released. What I see are shell games, budgeting gimmicks that make the real cost of the so-called $1.75 trillion bill estimated to be almost twice that amount. If the full time is run out, if you extend it permanently, Manchin told reporters Monday afternoon, and that we haven't even spoken about it, this is a recipe for economic crisis. It's all gonna come to an end at some point. Every great empire has fallen at some point, and most of them fall right around the 200-year mark. We have everybody talking about the newest craze of civil war. We have China getting all big and bad. We have states suing each other and the federal government. And you have the dollar just printing as many as they can. Something's got to give. Campaign finance data shows that 84.73% of Bush's money has come from out of state, with a large plurality from California. Well, there you go. No, I will not allow it. Message. Okay, I read that. Our local news reported on the gas at $1.75 a gallon more than a year ago. Yeah. Your gas around $2 per gallon in a year. That's a huge tax. That is another tax. So Let's Go Brandon is now considered hate speech, according to somebody. It's at the top of the iTunes charts. It's prevalent at college football games, NASCAR, and the World Series, even in states that went for Biden in the 2020 presidential election. Well, yeah, they went for Biden. Yep, totally did. Trump laughs along as a raucous World Series crowd chanted that. Really? Oh, do I need to be watching the World Series? Let's Go Brandon got its start exactly 1 month ago at Talladega. Yeah, we know about that. Now it seems that wherever the president goes, Brandon follows. Conservatives have embraced the chant as another example of liberal bias in the mainstream media, while liberal Twitter has gone off the deep end in attempting to decode it because they have no idea. But things really have come to a head when Southwest airline pilot, we read this story yesterday, said, "Let's go, Brandon," allegedly. He also might have said Atlanta Braves. Plot twist, a distinct possibility that the pilot was just an Atlanta baseball fan saying, "Let's go Braves." There's an audio link? All right. Let's listen to it. If it'll load. We wanted you to hear directly from us. Conduct an internal investigation. Gotta really play out this 49 seconds. Seriously? Maybe right at the end. Yeah, that was a waste of time. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, no matter the outrage machine on the left got amped up to 11, including by an AP reporter who first recounted what she thought she heard from the pilot over the PA system. Yeah, we all know that. Two CNN national security analysts also weighed in, including Asha Rangappa, a former FBI agent who absurdly equated a joke like "Let's go Brandon" with declaring "Long live ISIS." Wow. Say what you will, but bizarrely encouraging someone to say "Long live ISIS" on an airplane is extremely on brand for an FBI agent. Another analyst, Juliet Kamen, speculated without a hint of evidence that the pilot may have anger issues for perhaps telling a joke or is a substance abuser. Oh, he might have been drunk. The ridiculous backlash prompted Southwest to launch an investigation. Yeah. All right. That's all I got for that. We got a few Discord stories. What's up, Jupiter 5? How are you? Everyone who hasn't voted for Biden or that is an enemy of the new fascist state. Pretty much. I mean, you can't talk about it. I got my channel striked many times and now removed that I have For anybody now joining, I have filed the appeal for the removal of my channel. We'll see. I think I worded it really well. I went over it earlier in the chat. If you're interested in that, rewind and you'll find it. We'll see what happens. If I do get the channel back, I don't plan on doing the evening catch-up there. I'll do something else on it. The evening catch-up I do enjoy doing. However, reading the news is not necessarily... I like to be up to date, right? I don't want to watch the news all day long. And it's a lot more fun for me to have my hour of news intake a day with people I like hanging out with. I mean, if you had to do something, I don't know. I hope you understand. I think you probably do. So, I mean, if we find out another thing to do that we can just hang out for an hour a day, that's cool too. But at the same time, then I got to go figure out what's going on in the world somewhere else. I guess maybe on Irish's channel, which would be fine. I will be an enemy on both counts then. Yeah. Hashtag Poopy Pants Biden, the real accident behind the hashtag and how trolls got it wrong. So apparently you're all wrong for this. Maybe he didn't poop his pants. President Biden is making waves on social media for all the wrong reasons. Many are wondering whether there is any truth to the rumor that Biden has a bathroom incident during his meeting with Pope at the Vatican, causing the hashtag Poopy Pants Biden to trend on Twitter. Biden met with the Pope. We already know that. Let's see. Where did he say it? He and his wife, First Lady Jill Biden, were greeted by Leonardo Sapienza, who runs the papal household, as well as a gentleman of His Holiness. However, rumor has it that Biden's meeting with the Pope was unusually long because he had to use the facilities at the Vatican before he left. Joe Biden might be denied the Holy Communion for abortion stance. Oh, that's a related topic. Never mind. The word around Rome is that Biden's meeting with the Pope was unusually long because Biden had a bit of a bathroom accident at the Vatican, and it had to be addressed prior to him leaving. Conservative strategist Amy Tarkanana tweeted, "I know we joke about this often, but this is an actual rumor going around Rome right now. There is no specific image or video suggesting Biden pooped his pants, and it's only speculation at this time. However, it's not the first time the leader of the free world has faced such accusations. Many believe that Biden couldn't help himself during his meeting with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on September 22nd, and therefore the White House staff cut Johnson mid-sentence and asked the news media to leave immediately." Ooh, missed that one. Biden faced similar allegations when he called for multiple bathroom breaks during his first debate with former President Trump. Fox News reported at the time how the Democratic presidential nominee asked for breaks every 30 minutes to allow both parties to rest during the meeting. At the time, we were all suggesting that, well, he had to go back there and get some tips and some pointers, right? Maybe he has incontinence, which is only scheduled to last 90 minutes and features no commercial breaks. Yeah. So the POTUS has now become a subject of mockery on social media with Biden bathroom accident and Biden shit his pants also trending on Twitter. Remember, with Biden's dogs were blamed for pooping on the floor in the White House and they got rid of them? Makes you think, one critic joked. I'll take mean tweets over senile old bastards that craps his pants in front of freaking Pope. At the G20 Rome Summit, the United States is represented by an infant that shits himself, a comment read. At first, the Pope thought Biden wanted to start talking about climate change and then realized Joe was saying he wanted his diaper changed. At that point, the Pope just wanted to know if his butt had been wiped, another quipped. So we don't have audio or what? It's just the fact that he stayed at the Vatican for a long period of time after the fact? Maybe. I heard the rant at the beginning and enjoyed it. Oh, all right, cool. It wasn't the greatest rant. I've had great rants. The rants that I've had about police officers are pretty good. Like if you go to Irish USMC Vets channel and you go back about a year and a half when Corsair was still, commenting and stuff, because apparently he still watches. But if you go back that far and watch that stuff, oh yeah, I had some great rants back then. This is just like kids games. Seriously. My team's better than your team because I wear a costume and I got a shiny sticker right there. So you guys do what I tell you to do. Okay. Okay, mister. I get you. I like the memes, Riddle. All right. Florida homeowner fined $50 a day for Let's Go Brandon Trump 1 banners. Wow. Walton County, Florida is fining the citizen $50 for every day he hangs the 3-story tall Let's Go Brandon and Trump 1 signs from his home in Seagrove Beach. I'm guessing he has an HOA or something like it. Homeowner Marvin Peavy said the county's fines violate his freedom of speech rights, which I would agree with that. I mean, if it's your own property, yeah. So the county is fining him? Yeah, Walton County, Florida. The county is fining him. We have a Black Lives Matter billboard over here that somebody put up. No problem with that. I'm here at the beach, got a lot of traffic, and people need to see what I believe in. PV said that's free speech, and I wanted everyone to know it. Yeah, you can buy a billboard that says it. Why not? PV said he will let the flags hang as long as he can. Trump supporters across the country have said that they will help cover the cost of the fines. One Louisiana woman reportedly offered to pay the fines for 2 years at a cost of $36,500. The channel, local 13 channel, photographed the sign that hung from his home, which sits on State Road 30A. Walton County Code Enforcement decided at the hearing that PV signs do not comply with the county's land development ordinances. Walton County Code Compliance official Michael Lynch said that the Land Development Code ensures that all coastline remains visually appealing. Wow, so the county is basically your HOA at that point. The Walton County Republican Party, as well as local Trump supporters, are backing Peavy in his fight against the code that stifles his free speech. You can't say it on YouTube. You can't say it in your own freaking house. People admire people that stand up, and we've got to start standing up, said Bill Fletcher, chairman of the Walton County Republican Executive Committee. Peavy is I never know how to say that. Yeah. He's the example of someone who will stand up for his First Amendment right. Trump supporters attended the code enforcement hearing to support Peavy and then gathered outside his home and waved Trump flags and signs. I had attended the code enforcement meeting when this was brought up, and I was quite shocked when they said they were going to fine him $50 a day for a banner that's on his private property, said Tabitha Howard. The county let Peavy display a Trump 2020 flag during the election season. There's already precedence. Precedence has been set, Your Honor. They let me do it before the election, and now they have a problem with it? But political flags or signs outside of a specific time frame, apparently, violate the county's rules. Peavy has another hearing on November 17th. Wow. And then Riddle Girl shared this one in the Discord. Steve Harvey talks anti-stuff theories in a world without black people. How long is
Leave my work but this shot? Why? Because, see, here's the deal. Everything that they're saying that's anti-vaccine is a theory. It's
a lot of
theory.
misinformation. Yeah.
It's not based on any
like
scientific
that, Michelle?
facts. Where are the scientific facts that this vaccine does something wrong to you? Just show me the scientific fact.
And look at all the people who have been vaccinated. They're walking around fine. I mean,
Man, it's too many.
Look at all the other
They
shots
trying to
you done
kill
took.
black people. They trying to kill. Boy, you know this world ain't worth a quarter without black people in it.
say that again.
Yeah,
all the black
this
people
world ain't
and
worth
do
a
the
quarter.
work.
Dog.
Yeah, they're gonna
You-
they gonna
first
do
of
the work
all,
and kill us. Right?
You take black people
Right.
out and see what.
According to U.S. Today, a recent poll shows that 5% of unvaccinated adults have left a job over a vaccine mandate. That's not that much. Those percent, I swear, polls change every time I read them. So Shirley asked the crew if they would leave $9 million on the table. Uncle Steve says he would never leave his work about the shot, and everything that they say is anti-shot is a theory. People are saying that the shot is trying to kill black people. I'm not saying that at all. The world would not be worth a quarter without black people. Okay, so he's, in my view, in my personal opinion, he's misguided. because I think I've heard of that theory going around that it's a way to get rid of people of color, but I don't really buy it. I just don't want it because it's got aborted fetuses in it. That's my main problem. That and the reason they want me to have it so bad. I don't want it because of what's in it. I don't want it because I think it might change my DNA, and I don't want you to do that. And I don't want it because you want me to have it so damn bad that you're willing to do all the stuff that you're doing. And you have YouTube on my ass. You have the government. And now my job, I can't work. I can't feed my family if I don't have it. Something doesn't pass the smell test on that. Anyway, I'm over an hour. And I knew I was going to be just because we talked so long about my own personal shit earlier in the episode. So thank you so much for being here throughout the entire episode. Most of you made it. We will be having another one tomorrow night on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're linked into the Discord or you're on the email list. That should be going out in the email list tonight if it hasn't already. And that will tell you what the next channel will be when this one I'm no longer able to stream from for a week. So other than that, all the links are the same down in the descriptions. I haven't added any new ones, so there's ways to donate if you want. There's affiliate links if you want. There's causes I believe in and support, including Rally Point Irish. So, you know, if you like Rally Point Irish, check that out. ProjectRecover.org is a good one. The GOA, I definitely think you should support people who support you, right? The people that support you and your rights are the people you should support, in my opinion. People who come and violate your rights, I don't support those people. All right. I mean, Mons Pubis is fat. Your Pubis will be here. Thank you very much, Patriot Rooster. How is the mini muffins? It's too small. I think she should have added the whole amount of butter to it. Got to eat 2 of them. But they're small, so it's fine. They're not bad. All right, so I'll just hang here for a second and read a few comments. Let's see, what else? I don't want to stay too long. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Bikes and Bullets. I don't think he was here tonight. Bikes and Bullets uploaded a video for me. Like, it's a private video. I don't know. I think it's unlisted. It's an unlisted video he made just for me. It's like 9 minutes. I got through like 3 minutes of it. I haven't gotten through the whole bit, but it was really cool. I mean, he said he was going to do it, and he did it. That's pretty neat. All about his 45s, because we had gotten into the conversation about 45s last night on last night's chat. My friend Daniel has decided that at this point, he has decided that he wants a 45 after taking him out to the desert and shooting, which is great. I love 45. It's a man's caliber. But more than that, it's already suppressible, and there's just really good ammunition for it out there. And there's a lot of great options, right? So 45, I'm a fanboy of 45. So he had shown his 45s that he has, or at least the ones that he shows off on private videos. So that was really interesting. If you guys have a 45, let me know. You don't have to do a video, but let me know. What 45 do you own? And how do you like it? I have 2 45s. I have a Glock 30 and I have a Dan Wesson. The Glock 30 is kind of usually my everyday carry. I both love and hate it. I don't have the largest hands, so I got the slim frame, and I kind of needed an even smaller than that, so I've whittled it down a little bit, and it looks like shit, but it's supposed to work, and it does. The Dan Wesson is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I probably could get a different 1911 and just carry a 1911 all the time, but I have an issue with carrying a 1911 because of the capacity. 8 rounds versus 13 is a big deal. And then the FN 45 is the reason I had said yesterday that I was thinking about getting that as my next 45. I don't know when that'll be, probably years from now. but was capacity. It holds 15 instead of 13 that Glock carries. So those are some of the things that I was going over with the 45, but I don't think anybody else here owns a 45. So I'm just preaching to the choir right now or talking gun stuff. So I will let you guys go, and I will see you tomorrow for the morning muster, most likely. It should be an interesting show. And then same here tomorrow night right here. Now, we might get a warning. So if I get a warning, we'll do it again here tomorrow night. If I get a strike, make sure you're subscribed to the next channel that we're going to. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you. Until I see you tomorrow, make sure to keep that family close. Watch out for that government and try and live as free as you can in the tyrannical world we find ourselves living in. Peace.